Digital Voice Personal Hotspots by Paul, Mike 0 Whiskey November Uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul, Mike 0 Whiskey November Uniform, you can check out of it, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446. Now I'm going to go on to an amateur radio subject today, the digital voice modes that we have in the amateur radio world. Now, there are, off the top of my head, just the three of them that I know that are commonly used. I know there's another one that's sometimes used as well, although I've not ever seen that used in this country. But I'll cover that anyway. But the three main ones I have seen in use in the UK are D-Star, which I have no equipment for whatsoever, although my call sign is, I think, associated and registered on the D-Star system, but I don't have any equipment for it right now. I only have access to it via the Peanut app on network radios, which is a completely different subject entirely. DMR, which I do have equipment for, in the form of the Anytone 868, or give it its full name, D868UV. I bought this one, I believe, at the Bowburn Rally a couple of years ago now. And it's a nice little radio, and is pretty much well sorted towards the amateur. Unlike most ex-commercial DMR radios made by the likes of Motorola and Hytera, which sometimes do the rounds. There's a few other DMR radios out there as well. There's a TYT MD380, I think it is, and a few others as well, which I think there's a couple of Retivis ones as well. I can't remember the model numbers of those off the top of my head, so I'll have to look them up at some point. Some of them are single band, that only work on the 70cm band. This one's actually dual band, so it works in 2 meters as well, so you can actually use DMR on 2 meters, no problem at all with this. So then there's the other option by Yaesu, which is their System Fusion. I have equipment for that, both in my car and here in the form of the Yaesu FT2D. Now, if you happen to be like me and unfortunately not in the range of a repeater for D-Star, DMR or System Fusion, then there is another way. There are various digital hotspots that you can buy. The small little devices which run in the 70cm band at very low power, and are actually nowadays available quite cheaply in the form of this little device here. This one is called the Jumbo Spot. What this is an interface board on top of a Raspberry Pi Zero, although you can use any Raspberry Pi. This case is actually designed for a Pi Zero and the Jumbo Spot board, with an OLED display and this antenna, so you can actually remove that antenna to get the board out of the case. I actually bought this as a kit and assembled it on top of a Raspberry Pi. The board just needed the headers soldering on and the display soldering on, and I believe the antenna jack needed to be soldered in as well. Then screw the antenna in, and then that was it. It'll work without the case, but I wouldn't advise it. So you connect this to your Wi-Fi network. It's a Raspberry Pi Zero W inside here. I wouldn't recommend using the non-Wi-Fi version of the Pi Zero, although I'm not sure whether that's still made. And you need to make sure you've got an SD card, this one here, micro SD card with a suitable firmware on it, which is the Pi-Star software, which you can download. I'll put a link to that in the description. So I can't remember off the top of my head how much it cost. I think this was about £50 off eBay, shipped from China. Though I suppose there's UK sellers of these as well. There's other hotspots you can buy. There's the Shark RF Open Spot, I think it's called. There's I think there's the DV Mega, I think it's called. I can't remember. Might be something else I'm thinking about there. I'm just trying to remember the different hotspots. There's the Zoom Spot, which is essentially what this thing actually is a copy of. Yeah, the Zoom Spot is basically the board is a board that fits on top of a Raspberry Pi as well, and also runs on the Pi Zero with the Pi-Star software. So there's a little cutout in this for the Raspberry Pi Zero W's camera connector, which I'm not really sure why you'd need that. But there's this little cutout here which lights up with coloured LEDs depending on what mode's active and whether it's transmitting or receiving. If you can hear a bit of wind out there, I do apologise, it's actually quite windy today, so I wasn't planning on going outside to play radio. So I'm going to plug this back in and I'm going to demonstrate it working. But I'll be using them like the parrots to demonstrate it working. So I will be right back. Okay, start again. Yeah, okay, so I've set up my Anytone so that as soon as I press the PTT, it'll hopefully transmit on talk group 9990. Hang on, it's just gone off the screen. So I just need to go into the menu on the radio, go into the talk group, go into the talk group list. I'll be talking about this when I actually discuss DMR. I'm looking for 9990 Echo, which is taking a while to find. I do apologise about the beeping. So these radios have a tendency to do that. Select contact selected. So hopefully with a bit of luck this should transmit on 9990. Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform test. Ooh, that didn't work very well. Not sure what's going on there. Right, let's try that again. Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform test. Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform test. See if it works properly this time.
0 Whiskey November. Mike 0 Whiskey November.
Ooh, that's sounding bad. So, never works properly when you expect it. So, despite the fact that that's in here, so I'm wondering if if the local Wi-Fi in this room is causing the problem. One way to find out. I'm going to change it over to my other Wi-Fi, and we're going to see if that cures that little problem. Oh, it's picked up networks I did not recall being there. Okay, so I'm going to reconfigure this because I'm wondering if I'm having slight problems with the Wi-Fi in here. Because I know it worked fine on the Wi-Fi in the... Right, so I need PM... It's called PM Guest, mine. Right. It's not letting me select that. Yeah, come on. Yeah, well, let me change the Wi-Fi in here, which is very annoying. Okay. I'll be back when I've sorted that out. Right. It took a little bit more fettling than I initially thought. The TX and RX offset in the Pi-Star software needed to be changed by the looks of it. So this is set to hopefully transmit on the Echo talk group 9990. And then I just press the button and it should actually work. So I haven't changed the settings on the radio, just on the hotspot itself, because they seem to be a wee bit out. So let's try it on DMR first, as before. Mike 0, Whiskey November uniform testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Hopefully.
Mike 0, Whiskey November uniform testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Seems to be fine. So that's DMR. I don't like DMR very much because of the harshness of the audio. So let's give it a go with my old favourite, Yaesu System Fusion C4FM. And yep, this has got a fully charged battery. So what I need to do is put it onto the hotspots frequency, which in my case is 438.800. Give the hotspot a couple of seconds to start listening for both modes, because it's configured for both DMR and System Fusion. So what I will need to do then is press the wires X button on the radio, which is this one here on the FT2D and the FT3D as well, I believe. Oh, for a change it went straight through. The moment it's flashing for the hub net. And so what I'll need to do is search and direct and type in parrot, because that's what we need here. Let's see if it'll find something for me. Okay, it hasn't this time. Sometimes you've got to time it right. There we go. Couple of attempts. It's given me a green light, so it's obviously receiving something from the hotspot. Still says waiting though. Nothing. Okay. So there's nothing for parrot, interestingly enough. So let's go back. Let's try echo. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this a couple of times because until the radio gives me a green receiving light. Because it depends on the timing of the cycle when the hotspot's actually receiving. No matches. Okay. Okay, so in that case it'd be one of the FCS ones, I think. So it'd be FCS 00199, I believe. So if I just go back again. There we go. So I've got a load of FCS ones. It says 311 FCS. So it's going to take a while to find it. So it only displays so many per page, so it's a case of going to the bottom of the page and keep pressing the button, just keeping the try again. Yeah, but I believe it's 00199 for one of the echo test FCS reflectors, I think they're called. Yeah, it is. FCS 00199. So I now just need to select FCS 00199 and it will play that little tune. It'll give me a thing to add, either emergency news station, local news, international news. We don't want that, so I'm just going to press back, and now I'm going to transmit. On this radio, Mike 0, Whiskey November uniform testing System Fusion on DMR hotspot 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. System Fusion on hotspot.
Whiskey November uniform testing System Fusion on DMR hotspot. 123455431. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. System Fusion on hotspot.
There you go. You might have noticed I said DMR in there because the thing does DMR as well, so you can use DMR. Oh, I'll turn that down. It's just DB3AR repeater coming through that radio. So that's actually pretty good going. To disconnect, I believe it's pressing all the band button on this radio. And it should, with a bit of luck, try and disconnect. It hasn't done. I need to make it listen for System Fusion again. Quick way of doing that. There you go. Press the band button. And it disconnects on that radio. So I won't show you that in too much detail, but that's effectively the jumbo spot for you. The PiStar software, I'll put a link to where you can obtain that from. And if I can get some screen captures of it, although I'm not sure what I can and can't screen capture off that, because there's information in it that wouldn't be relevant to yourselves. So you can. Those jumbo spots are relatively cheap, available on eBay. You may have to build them yourself, so you may need to be able to solder. That might. Because you need to solder like the header pins to both the Raspberry Pi Zero, unless you buy one of the W versions which already has the header pins on it, but for this application it all comes with all the headers and everything you need to get started. So you need to know how to solder, although if you're not confident in soldering, you can ask someone to help you with that. Radios, DMR radios are relatively cheap for this application. Yaesu System Fusion radios, well, they're generally quite expensive because System Fusion's Yaesu's proprietary thing, although it will work on there. Another thing that I want to cover is, just touch on briefly, is the YSF reflectors. Anyone can set one of those up, again running off a Raspberry Pi, and you should, in theory, be able to access it from one of those. I will update you on that one, because I might give that one an experiment, because I've got a really old Raspberry Pi floating around somewhere that might do the job. It might be worth an experiment. So, if you want to catch me on DMR or System Fusion, the best way to do that is through the hubnet. I'm actually going to connect to the hubnet now. I've been having problems connecting to that for a while. So I'm going to connect to it on the FT2D, because, as I say, I actually prefer System Fusion. So, because it won't show up straight away, obviously you have to press search and direct. I believe it's FCS00420, but that could be the other one, the CQUK. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure it's the hubnet, because there's CQUK and hubnet, and they're both in that sort of range, so I'm going to see if we get anything from that. I'll have to do it again, because I've got to time it so that when the hotspot's actually listening for System Fusion, because it only listens for both modes one at a time. I'm going to do a little video on System Fusion at some point, and obviously how it compares against DMR. There we go, got a green light. It's a bit of a pain on this, but if you have it set exclusively to System Fusion, you won't have to do this. I'm planning on getting one for my car that I can use on there. You just do not hold the antenna when I'm transmitting, it's probably a bad idea. It's only on low power. Yeah, 420 CQUK, 477 I think is the hubnet. Yeah, 420 CQUK. Yeah. Try and find the hubnet now. MI5 DAW is also HubNet, so I'm not interested in that. Not HubNet, CQ UK. I keep getting those two confused for some reason. It's because I use both. Okay, so 477 I think is what I need to look for the HubNet. Yeah, 470 FCS 00477. That's the HubNet for you there. 420 CQ UK. But I'll be more likely to listen on the HubNet. Right, I'm now connected to the HubNet. So that's now connected to the HubNet, and I should receive calls on the HubNet. So if you are able to get on the HubNet, give me a shout. Call signs Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform. I'm probably listening. If you're in my local area, I can be found on the GB3IR repeater, or if you've got Echolink or IRLP, although I think the Echolink's down at the time of filming, then you can connect to the GB3IR repeater over those modes. IRLP will probably be the better one to go for at the moment, because I believe that's on at the moment. I don't think the Echolink is. I'd have to speak to the keeper about that one when I next see him. So you can catch me on that repeater. If you are a little further away, there's always GB3HG as well. I do sometimes listen to that. I sometimes listen to the calling channel, but seldomly do. I do transmit APRS when I'm on mobile, usually on the longer trips. I tend not to do it so much on the short trips. So my beacon should be running for the run down to Blackpool. Yeah, that's another thing. Don't forget, I will be at the Blackpool rally at the end of April at the Norbreck Castle Hotel. So just say hi if you see me. I will be filming for YouTube. Yeah, and then now I've got the date for it, I'm hoping to also be at the Ripon Rally as well, depending on my work commitments, because it's a Sunday and I do actually work on a Sunday at the moment, although it's not usually a day shift. So if you see me at the Ripon Rally, say hi. If you see me at the Blackpool Rally, please do definitely say hi. I will be there with the camera and I will be filming. Actually, I'll be at both filming. So I'll be wearing a little badge with my call sign on it that I'll have made myself. Because I've got some little meeting badge holders that I bought a while ago for exactly that purpose. So, right. So we've got DMR and System Fusion, and there's one other one I didn't cover actually, which I said I was going to, but I haven't touched on. That's the APCO Project 25. P25 is, as it's called, is generally the equivalent of the Tetra airwave system used here in Europe, in the UK for the emergency services. It's a similar sort of thing. So that's kind of common in America, but American hams have got hold of it, but I don't think it's made it across here yet, although I can't see any reason why it can't be used, because in the amateur radio community. There's something else these little hotspots do as well, actually. Well, not all of them, but the Pi-Star ones definitely do it, and that's pagers using the POXAG protocol. I'll be covering that in a different video as well, because I am actually interested in going down that route. So not just voice, but it can also do pagers. Very clever. So that's the end of that, and I will see you at hopefully the Ripon Rally and the Blackpool Rally, and also in the next video, which should be up very soon. So I'm on the HubNet at time of filming. I might be on it as well at the time this goes live to YouTube. So just give me a shout. Again, my call sign, Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform. I am listening. And also don't forget local repeaters around here. The one up in Richmond is on IRLP. You can call me through that and give me a shout. I should be listening to it. So 7-3s for now, and I'll catch you on the air or in the next video or at one of the rallies that I'm going to very soon. Bye for now.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be notified of new videos as I upload them. 73 is from Paul, Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 on 11 metres and PMR 446.